Welcome to a Tin Dog podcast, discussing the 4th Doctor release, Series 2, release number 4, Story 3, The Justice of JALXAR. JALXAR. Yeah, you see, the only thing about this story I don't like is that word. I just can't pronounce it. JALXAR. JALXAR. Yeah, stick an X in something and it sounds alien. Well, you know, fair enough. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Now, I do not want to give away spoilers, because this, for me, is the highlight of the series so far. It is absolutely superb. It could be an audio recording of a Doctor Who that actually took place in the 70s. It's just marvellous. Set 10 years after the Talons of Weng-Chiang, and notice how I refuse to call it the Talons of Wang-Chung. Oh dear, I've done it again. It's set 10 years after the Talons of Weng-Chiang, and I only say that because it has Henry Gordon Jago and Professor Litefoot in it. Ah yes, something else to add to our remarkably marvellous Jago and Litefoot canon. 5 series, 3 specials, well, 2 specials, and a companion chronicle all go together to make something brilliant. Yes, the spin-off series that never happened is possibly the most successful bit of Big Finish. It's never made completely clear whether this takes place after any of the other adventures, that's the ones from series 1 to 5, or whether it's standalone, and that's the beauty of this story. It doesn't need to go into any more depth. You don't need to own any of the Jago and Litefoot stories whatsoever. Just brilliant. So what's it about? Well, the trailer will be on at the end of this podcast, but basically, the 4th Doctor and Romana 1 are on their way to Earth to Victorian times, on the trail of something you're not quite sure. They enlist some local help in the form of Henry Gordon Jago and Gordon Litefoot. It's marvellous. The atmosphere is great, the character interplay is spot on, the characterisation is simply spectacular. Something that some people have argued has been lacking in the last 2 stories. Not here, not at all. Now, Doctor Who does something best. Talons of Weng-Chiang was really the reworking of Mask of Fu Manchu and some Sherlock Holmes. Yes, he's going to be wearing his deerstalker again in this story because it's set around the same time. We don't have Leela, we have the poshness that is Romana 1. The difference in characterisation and character interaction between Leela and Romana is brilliant. Everyone is very pleased to see Mary Tam. But the best thing about this story is that in the same way that the old TV story that it's sequeling lifted various plot points from one type of genre, here we have, wait for it, Doctor Who does Batman, does a vigilante, and it's by gaslight. And, well, you can actually hear it in the trailer. There's a steampunk robot. Anyone who's ever listened to a Tin Dog podcast knows that I practically wet myself at the thought of a steampunk robot, a steam-driven automata. It rocks. The human characters are brilliant, the robot is brilliant, everything about this story is fantastic. If you can only afford 1 disc, get this one, seriously. It's that good. The story is small, self-contained, perfectly formed, and it doesn't feel overly short or overly long. It is glorious. A vigilante in Victorian London, investigated by the Doctor. It's just great. Not much of a review, I'll grant you, but it's because I can't really find that much more to say about it, apart from the fact that this has, by far, the single most incredible 70s-based beverage joke of all time. Listen out for it. In fact, stop listening to this podcast and go and listen to it now. Be seeing you.
Coming soon from Big Finish Productions. The 4th Doctor Adventures. Doctor Who. The Justice of JALXAR.
Who do we know in this time period? You'd be surprised. Romana. I think I know just the men.
Stab me vitals! That's impossible!
Oh, as I live and breathe, Professor George Litefoot and Henry Gordon Jago. I wondered if I could trouble you two for the merest jot of your time.
I would have thought you'd have developed the internal combustion engine by now, rather than being reliant on livestock. Still, if you insist.
Whoever your killer is, I think he spent the last month taking the law into his own hands.
I see. Like a murderous version of the Pugilist.
Yes, exactly. The who?
What in the name of... Whereas I enjoy doing this. Ah! Tell me you got what's coming for you, Mr. Stone. Upon my soul, it's the Pugilist.
This man for the rest of your life, do you? We've got a better chance of escape if we work together. What do you say?
What in the name of hell is that?
Where is Stone?
Keep it away from me! No! No!
Subscribers get more at bigfinish.com.
You've been listening to the Tin Dog Podcast. Doctor Who and its connected properties are copyright and trademark of the BBC. No infringement is intended. To contact the show, email tin-dog@hotmail.co.uk. Whostrology, a Time Traveller's Almanac, is available through Telos Publishing or Amazon. Visit www.whostrology.com for further information. The Tin Dog Podcast is a founder member of the Doctor Who Podcast Alliance.